Namaste viewers, old and new. Welcome to Psychiana. This is Ritu Lalit, and today I want to talk about the key planets in Vedic astrology and Saturn, which is going retrograde in July. There are certain planets in astrology that give out the main character vibes. Whatever they do, their movements, their actions, where they stop, where they go retrograde, has a deep and lasting impact on our lives. The first one is the sun, which is the ego, the life force of a person. Then there is Jupiter. Jupiter is expansion. Jupiter is fortune. Then there is Mars, energy, action, vitality, and Saturn, discipline, responsibility, and it is karmic. Now, in July, Shani is our main character. It slows down early in the month, it goes stationary, and then it goes retrograde. Saturn slows down around July 5th. Shani, which is already a slow moving planet, when it slows down even further and then finally goes stationary, there is an intense focus on certain areas in our life. Where is Saturn for you? Is it in your first house? Are you feeling a lot of restrictions in how you present yourself to others? Or is it in your fourth house? Is your communication with your loved ones impacted? All this comes through when you see where Shani is stationed for you in your birth chart. And then on July 13th, Saturn retrograde begins. Retrograde does not mean that the planet has started moving backward. That cannot happen. But from our position on the earth, when we look up in the sky, that particular planet, appears to be moving backward because of a certain speed differential between the planet's movement and Earth's movement. Right. Now, the retrograde begins on July 13th in the nakshatra or the lunar planet of Uttar and it continues for 128 days until November 28th, when it turns direct. The moment Saturn becomes stationary, just before moving backward, is the critical point, because the energy is very highly focused at that time. This can feel like a pause, a pressure point. You have to notice it and do a karmic audit on the areas where this impact is happening. Now, let's talk about the lunar mansion and the retrograde energy. Saturn is going retrograde in Pisces. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. Pisces is a mutable water sign, and it is associated with spirituality, with emotions, with imagination, and with liberation, moksha. Saturn in Pisces emphasizes emotional resilience, spiritual growth, and it is asking us to confront our past karmic debts. This energy is emphasized by the lunar mansion where Saturn is going retrograde, which is Uttar Bhadrapada. Uttar Bhadrapada is the back legs of the funeral court. This is an intensely ascetic sign. It is all about self-sacrifice, self-negation. It's about karmic cleansing. Saturn retrograde here in this lunar mansion amplifies the retrograde energy. Retrograde energy is asking us to look inward. And Uttar Bhadrapada is introspection, spiritual awakening, and this burning need to resolve our karmic issues, whether we have incurred it in our past or in our past lives, or we have brought it up from our ancestors. In short, this is a time for karmic audit. This is your karmic checkpoint. All your past actions, all your unresolved issues, your subconscious traumas, even your exes are going to suddenly start resurfacing from now until November end. And this is just to bring to the forefront the need for reflection, for resolution. Remember, retrogrades are not the time for new beginnings. If you are professionally starting a new project, if you are planning to shift homes, if you're looking for a new job, this is not the time. Right now is the time to endure in the circumstances you are in, review, reassess, realign, restructure, and only once you have resolved these issues can you look ahead. This is the time for introspection and discipline. Of course, the impacts vary from person to person, to from house and ascendant. Remember, I'm a Vedic astrologer. When I talk about energies, when I talk about the zodiac, I'm talking about your moon and ascendant times. And I will pinpoint the specific areas every zodiac sign should look at. But first, let me talk about additional influences. Saturn has aspects. The aspects are threefold. Saturn will has its aspect on the 3rd, 7th and 10th houses from where it is stationed. Right now it is stationed in Pisces. It's going to go retrograde in Pisces, which means the houses that are impacted is the Taurus, which is in the 12th house. 12th house Taurus would be the energy of expenses. You might have unplanned expenses. You might have the tendency to overspend, go over budget. So be very careful about that. Taurus in 12th house also means isolation. Somehow your communication with your support structure will be impacted. You will be isolated. Be very careful about that. Then another aspect is the 7th aspect, which is the Virgo sign. Virgo is in the 4th house, home, your sense of personal security, your mother, her health, the health of all the elderly in your house. This is all going to be impacted. And the third aspect is the 10th house, which is Sagittarius stationed in the 7th house right now. The 7th house is the house of partnerships, legal, emotional, professional. All these areas will see delays and require re-evaluation. 4th house and your 7th house are both dealing with relationships. One is with your family, with your sense of security, with your inner circle. The second is with your professional and your legal partnerships. So all these areas are dealing with communication. And then there is this Taurus energy in the 12th house, which is warning against expenses. So watch it. The issues that you are going to face are your security, your sense of well-being, your relationships and your money. Be very careful, my friends. The karmic lessons that you are going to see and experience are going to come in these areas. The karmic lessons, my friends, are not about punishment, but about purification, about evolution, about growing more stronger, more resilient. You might be thrown face to face with unresolved family issues, your blockages regarding money, your emotional wounds, your past traumas, your spiritual blockages. But these are only to mend, to heal. These are not to punish you. And another warning I want to give you is health concerns. Saturn retrograde may impact you in various ways. First of all, eye. Shani will bring eye irritation, foot injuries. Be very careful where you put your feet, how you walk, because you might face certain issues. There can be weakened immunity, especially from July to November. Stay vigilant, my friends. Go for a medical checkup. Go for certain preventives. If you are having weakened immunity, do not expose yourself to weather or infections. And Now, Saturn retrograde affects everyone in a different way based on your ascendant and your moon sign. Here is a brief overview. Aries, this is 12th house energy, which is expenses, isolation, spirituality. So, financial prudence is needed, and be very careful about unexpected expenses like medical, like emergency travel. Foreign opportunities will arise but require certain patience. Right? Taurus. Taurus ascendants. This is 11th house energy. Gains, friendship, social network. Saturn may delay financial gains or social recognition. Saturn is all about restrictive energy. But if your past efforts have been honest, you will be rewarded. You may get long-term gains, but only if you are disciplined. Gemini ascendants, this 10th house, career recognition, reputation, focus on professional discipline. And planning will overcome delays. Cancer ascendants, this is 9th house energy. 9th house is dharma. 9th house is travel and belief. Saturn encourages questioning of belief systems and spiritual paths. I would not be surprised if you start looking into different belief systems. It is a very favorable time to gain additional certification in anything dealing with spirituality, energy healing, Reiki, or learning another skill. Leo ascendants, this is about 8th house. 8th house is hidden matters, secrets, transformation, inheritance. You may come face to face with deep emotional and financial issues. Past karmic debts could also surface. So be very cautious about spending, about joint finances, and go for a health checkup. Be careful. Virgo ascendants, this is all about 7th house, partnerships. Saturn is going to test your relationships, whether they are professional, whether they are personal, emotional. There can be delays in bonding, in signing certain partnership documents, but the delays are good because they bring clarity to the commitments. So use this energy to find effective resolutions, deepen your understanding with your professional and emotional partners. Libra ascendants, this is 6th house energy. 6th house is health. 6th house is enemies, and 6th house is also your daily grind. So grind away. This is, if you are disciplined, you will be successful. That Saturn always gives you long lasting rewards if you are disciplined. And go for a health checkup. Watch for health issues. Scorpio, this is 5th house for you. 5th house is love, children, creativity. So exes will surface. Old romantic ties will come back. Maybe they come back in a different way, a different form. And focus on creativity. Spend a lot of time with your children. You'll find it very rewarding. Sagittarius, Saturn is in your 4th house. 4th house is home, mother, your sense of security, peace. This is going to be mentally a very stressful time for you. Health of your parents, of the elderly in your family will cause concern, and domestic harmony can also be challenged. Capricorn, this is 3rd house. 3rd house is communication, siblings, courage. Expect changes in your professional location. You may be transferred to another office, or it could be a communication style that changes, or you might be reporting to a different boss. Foreign resources may be beneficial, but sibling health can be impacted. Aquarius, this is 2nd house energy for you. 2nd house is wealth, speech, family. So there will be a re-evaluation of your spending habits, the way you communicate. Even professionally, your organizational structure could be shuffled, and you may be working with a different team, causing a change in your communication style. There will be karmic situations around savings. and this period can be favorable to you, but only if you are disciplined. Pisces, this is first house energy for you, which is self identity. Saturn brings immense potential for success, for financial gains. You will have a jhukav, an inclination towards spirituality, towards religious activity. Your health requires attention, but overall, Pisces, this is a good period for you. There are certain rituals that in the Vedic astrology recommends for realigning yourself with Saturn energies. Chayadan is a very popular one. Everyone knows about it, donating mustard oil. Or chanting the Shani Bij mantra. Om Sham Shanishcharaye Namah. I find Hanuman Chalisa a very, very positive and uplifting way of aligning myself to the Saturn energies. If you do not know the Hanuman Chalisa, it doesn't matter. You can just put it on and listen to it. The vibes from that chant are so energizing. I love it. Donate to the underprivileged. One never goes wrong with charity. Of course, you can use a gemstone if you wish to align yourself with Saturn's energy. The gemstone normally prescribed for anyone with a Shani obstacle is the blue sapphire, Neelam. But I would always advise you to check out with an astrologer before you go for it. See, you might have an aspect in your birth chart or a planet that is aspecting your Saturn that can cause an obstacle, can cause a contraindication for the blue sapphire. So be careful about the stones you use, the gemstones. It's always good to consult with an astrologer. If you want to come to me for a personalized astrology report, you can always contact me. Drop a line in the comment section and book a consultation with me. If you like this video, please share it widely, subscribe, press the bell icon. It is very encouraging for me. And until next time, namaste and thank you.